Good morning, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. How are you all doing today? My name is Infrared, and for a few weeks now on the Mechanical Puzzles Discord server, it has been a popular trend to design and make your own copy of this puzzle, the hexagonal UFO. This is a shape mod of the mass-produced UFO, and both these puzzles turn exactly the same, of course, with one central slice, with 6-fold symmetry, of course, and a single layer on the top. So from a mechanism and in fact solving point of view, these two puzzles are exactly the same. So making my own version of this would be very easy, and easy is boring, so I chose not to do that. This puzzle specifically uses what is known as a spindle mechanism. To explain that, I need to explain what the regular mechanism is for the mass-produced ones and various other ones. Because it's a hexagon, there would be 3 of these corners would have a screw in it from the outside to the middle, attaching to the core, and the other 3 would be the edge pieces, which can move about. So it would alternate between fixed, moving, etc. That is easy and of course boring. So a spindle mechanism is very similar, but instead of having a metal screw in the center, it uses a bit of plastic, which goes out and hooks around. So the rotation axis here is plastic on plastic rubbing against each other. I made another version of this for a floppy cube just to test the mechanism. This one again uses one single screw in the middle. And if I turn it to the side, you can see these sides are split. And that is just how spindle mechanisms work. The core of this, unlike most other puzzles, is not a sphere with a whole bunch of holes poked in it. It is actually 2 hemispheres with the spindle sticking out. I can show a picture of the CAD model to make it a bit clearer. So for sake of assembly, it is necessary to split the pieces, and that is the reason why you only need one single screw to hold the 2 hemispheres together. Apart from that, it still works perfectly fine. So it's plastic on plastic rubbing against each other and is very stable. Now again, that would be easy and that would be boring, so this one is technically different yet again. This one uses a reverse spindle mechanism. It's pretty much the same but backwards. I'm still using the plastic itself as a line and the hook instead of a screw, but now the centers inside of this puzzle have the hook on them instead of the spherical core. Again, I can just show you a picture of what that would look like. Now, it's not better or worse, it is just different, because depending on the exact mechanisms of the puzzle, it may be possible to take one of these pieces and just lift it straight out, because there's nothing holding on the actual hook itself, just that one top screw. So just for stability's sake, and because I can, really, chose to make this one backwards. The puzzle still moves perfectly well, and that's just because of how few pieces there are in here. But when I was still designing this and not yet have the printed version in hand, one person on the Discord server mentioned they could avoid a version, and then that's what I did. Again, this one turns exactly the same as the regular version, with a hole in the middle. Top layer can still turn as well. Turning is sort of okay, that is because there's a hole poked in the middle. So during mid-turn, there's a chance that these outer pieces can sort of wiggle about and jam into each other, which just happens if you poke a hole in the center, because I could, really. Now again, easy would be boring, and unlike my previous void puzzles, this does not use what is known as a rails mechanism. This is, you can kind of see it here, it does use screws in the core. This uses an inside-out core because I have the screw hole there, and then on the opposite side is a bigger hole for the access for the screwdriver. So the screwdriver goes in for the center, and the screw is towards the outside face of the puzzle. Apart from that, it is still the exact same inner triangle shape with the, well, I guess these are technically rails on the outside. So really just a quick demonstration of the 2 things I made. I may do more with the spindle mechanism because it seems fun and fairly easy, but that was it really. So the puzzle itself is fairly simple. The solving is exactly the same as on the mass-produced UFO, so I might as well just give it a scramble right now. There we go. Now, compared to the mass-produced version, making the first face on the stickerless version is a bit more difficult because you need to worry about the permutation of every single piece instead of just the top color. However, if you want to make the second face, that one is pretty much the same, but in my opinion a bit easier on the hexagonal version, exactly because you can look at the side colors and not exclusively have to force on the top. So with more colors to look at, you get more information. Going to start with pick a color at random. I'm going to go with black for now. Let's see if anything was already matched up. No. Anything on the bottom? We have red there and red there. I'm going to attach. First, we're going to have them opposite to the corner and then attach them here. Kind of do the same. There's yellow there and yellow there, which I can make a half. I'm going to have the half on the bottom left, then pretty much do the same with the top one. There's purple green there, so purple back there. Mess that up. Alright, those two purple matched, orange is there. I can do the same process with that. Lovely stuff. Match down to the bottom, black face done. For the white face, the method that I have at least only uses one single algorithm, and that uses a 3 cycle between the 3 on the right. These 3 at the front left stay in place. And I'm going to attach that one being stationary. Usually it would be really helpful if there's 2 of the same next to each other, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to have one be stationary, so these 3 are going to cycle, and the algorithm I use is right, up twice, and then I just repeat that until the top color is solved. And then up twice again. This one's a bit of a weird one, where I have 2 unsolved and all the 4 others solved. I'm going to pick one of the 2 unsolved ones to, I suppose, be the solved one again, and just repeat, because it's a 3 cycle. So just repeat and see what happens. Done, done, done. Nothing so far. What I can do is move, well, one of these 2 blue ones into place. I'm going to need to move, well, one of these 2 really. I'm going to hold, instead of holding the blue on the left side, I'm going to hold it on the right, because these top 3 are going to cycle. So then that would put these 2 blue next to each other and would give at least 3 to cycle between. Right, that did cycle the piece, but the blue is now on the right instead of the middle. Just repeat. Cool, cool. Two done. You are going to move down there, move up there, you up there. So that should solve the green-red one, if I hold the 2 blue pieces in front of me. Now the algorithm they use is a 3 cycle of 3 next to each other, and now they're separated by one already solved one. I'm going to do a setup move to bring the 2 pieces next to each other. Left, up, left again. Do it either once or twice. Let's go. And I think that should be it solved, because I have 2 blue pieces next to each other. And moving the orange next to each other would solve everything again. Undo the setup moves. And that's the puzzle solved. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.